Hi folks, this is Alan English, actor, writer and autism trainer, and this next tutorial is targeted specifically at support workers and will be on how to support autistic people with a look at what works and what doesn't work. Now I want to begin by mentioning what doesn't work. Now the first thing that doesn't work is a lack of awareness about autism, and it is surprising how widespread this still is. So I would advise you, if you're a support worker and you suspect that someone you're supporting is autistic, is to get a diagnosis. Bearing in mind that everyone's an individual and that autism is expressed in different people in different ways. Be careful of jumping to assumptions. Always remember the diagnosis and try to avoid or forget any representations of autism you may have seen in the media, and treat the person you are supporting as an individual. Always allow the person you're supporting a measure of control over how they are supported. Many autistic people want to live independently, so allow them some input as to how they can actually achieve this. Always try to remain positive when supporting an autistic person. It's not good for our self-esteem or our ability to function if the person who's supporting us views us as an inconvenience. Having said this, I do recognise that supporting autistic people, supporting anyone when you're a support worker, is not easy. And it's often marked by difficult conversations. Now these can be caused by negative past experiences, and I've outlined some of my own in previous videos. Now difficult conversations with autistic people for support workers can go one of two ways. Now autistic people can be either hostile with a lot of anger and aggression in their manner, especially amongst the young, or it can go the other way, where the past experiences have made them what I call conflict allergic and withdrawn. So be mindful of either of these responses, when you're talking, with autistic people. Supporting an autistic person effectively takes time. It can be weeks or even months before you really get to know them. Take this time to get to know their routines and their environment as well as their challenges. Establish an effective way to communicate with them through face-to-face, online meetings, or by email and telephone. Whichever way they are most comfortable will be the most effective way for you to communicate. Now, it's more likely if you're supporting an autistic person, they will have other challenges besides their autism, such as addiction, unemployment, homelessness, or mental health issues. In this, help them to prioritise their problems as well as organise their daily lives. Support them around social interaction, particularly if they're headed into a new situation such as employment or education. Encourage them to follow or develop a hobby that could help with this this social engagement with the wide world. Be aware of safeguarding issues and help them to recognise what abuse looks like. They might not be wise to the signs of bullying, hate crime and mate crime that I have covered elsewhere in this series, especially its more subtle and insidious forms. Autistic people find it very hard a lot of the time to break patterns, even negative patterns, even when those patterns involve abuse. So just watch out for that and be mindful of it and help them to move on from it. Most people on the spectrum enjoy positive feedback, especially when it comes to our lives and activities. Maintain engagement and avoid misunderstanding by keeping positive feedback honest and balanced. Never exaggerate or sugarcoat anything, being as fair and as objective as you can. Now, our long-term goals are financial stability, decent employment, education and connection with others. Through these things, we are capable of achieving independence and living life as well as we possibly can on our own terms. And as support workers, you are in the best position to help us achieve this.